grew up in London as a producer. Started at the age of 15, creating music, experimenting, figuring things out. And then used to go to a youth studio to work with other people, and then found out I was being blocked. So I went privately to a studio to start creating for myself and start learning the art of producing and building and working with musicians and whatnot and trying to figure things out. Going down a bad road, I myself was going down this road, but luckily had luckily the beautiful thing about London especially, there's so many cultural things to steer you away. For the thanks of my mother that opened me up to other things. So I used to go out to galleries, I used to go to exhibitions, I used to go to events, and most importantly, I used to go to cultural events that no longer exist really in this time. Back in my time in the late 80s, 90s, there was community centers, and there were workshops, and there were places to go for higher learning. And there was a place like, we used to have a thing called Saturday School, where we'd go for a lot of kids who were very talented, but we had bad schools with bad education structures. And a lot of us were so-called underachieving. So I used to go to these Saturday schools, and I used to further my maths and my English. Also, we used to learn history that wasn't taught in school. African history and world history, everything. I remember learning about Pol Pot in Cambodia and all these other tyrants, and then learning about all these great things that happen around the world, old ancient civilizations and stuff. So being culturally aware from young, it gave me the chance to see a bigger world other than my area or just London. So I was able to see there's a whole world and a whole galaxy out there. This is the first important stage of my creative zone. Being, my mum being an academic and my mum's partner at the time both being academic, both heavily read. My whole house was a library of books and knowledge. So I was around some great people, especially some great women. My next door neighbor was a lady named Mrs. Gilroy, who was the first black headmistress. She was also a writer. 4 months of being excluded, I was able to return back. Thank God I was able to return back, because everyone that got expelled in the second year went down that road. And everyone I know that has been expelled is either dead, a drug addict, or doing life, or living some miserable life, which they feel which is a good side, being with your wife and children, but it's still a dead end as well. And you may think in society, settling down with your wife and family is good, but a lot of my friends who settle down with their missus or their girlfriend or their wife, their lives are daunting, they're just boring, they don't go out, they don't do anything. And this is a problem because the culture has died. Like, everything is like, oh, we're too old, we're growing out, it doesn't do anything, so nothing appeals. So once again, because I had the experience to travel around the world, I knew there was more to me than just fitting into the wife and children and settling down, and that's it, it's over. I hear people in their 30s, oh, I'm old, I'm done. I'm not a part of this, so I will always be leaving. Even if I do finally settle down, I will always be traveling and moving. So this is a great experience for me, and having this, which has set me on my path of being an artist, not necessarily a music producer, but an artist, a creator, and having the freedom to do what I want. Or you have to pay for everything. The majority of the events here, especially in the Tate, are generally free, and with some great events. So this cultural city is an amazing melting point. Now, if it wasn't for other people that came into this city, this place would be truly dread, personally, because this city, as much as Melodie spoke about the history of it, the history of London coming from it, the deep embedded history is very dark, sinister, cold, racist, bleak, and filled with hatred. Trust me, the undertones of this city, you see it now. And for those of you who failed and see it with the conservative, I don't want to get political, but if you see how things are now, this is just a taste of how it once was. When I was growing up in the 80s, it was a dark place. I was always being pushed back and held back by teachers, and there was only, a teacher, maybe my art teacher or my drama teacher, that saw something in me, saw my future potential. So I say, by traveling around the world, through myself and through my art, is it allowed me to open and expand myself. So I say to you all to not limit yourself and to go against the grain, go against the current, and challenge yourself, take yourself out of your comfort zone, otherwise you remain stagnant. And my other point is this, that we all need to return something back. Everybody decides to take. Don't kill the community. You have to work with it and balance it. Because the same thing that attracted you to Brixton or Hackney, these are just examples. Not everyone moves to these type of areas, but these examples, you was attracted to the area because of the reputation. Now you're there, you've killed the reputation, the community centres are closing down, events are closing down, we're not allowed to do this, we can't do this, we can't play the music. People move above a club and then start complaining about the music. This is blocking the culture and it's sending us back. And I find in the state we're in 2020, we're regressing, and we're not, I don't find there's any more of a culture in this time right now. It's more of a pop culture. And this is what I see everywhere. And this is what it is to make it, is to be a pop star or to be popular. Everyone has to see it. And with the socials, in fact, coming in play, it's caused another problem. So it has its good and bad sides to it. But culturally, and for those of the artists, it's just everybody has to sell themselves. Most artists are recluse. They don't want to put themselves out. I got friends that have no social media, have nothing online, and some of them, I call them bedroom producers or bedroom artists. Sometimes you need to push yourself, because the one that is usually not as talented has the skill of pushing themselves, and the one that is really talented tends to be shy, tends to be humble and hold back, but they need to push themselves. So what I'm trying to say is, overall, with the cultural climate right now, we just need to be more original, more fearless. Generally, all pop music, every music plays its position. But when I'm seeing what's going on, I'm seeing that culturally, there's nothing really going on. It's just the same thing. How many times can you sing a song about bitches and girls and money? How many times can you sing a song about just the same old love songs? You know, just same boring, same old complexes. Nobody's really trying to do anything. And whenever you do something, let's say I do a show, I did a gig the other week, maybe 20 people turned up. I did another gig another time, it was full. I think the stuff that Melodie showed with the modern brutalism, love that. That's a classic example. All the buildings that she's shown are just original, they're new. We need to apply this to everything, instead of just doing the same old, and building these new generic houses that are made like Lego with fake bricks on the front, and this weak house where you could punch a hole through a wall with a flick of a finger. So it's just about having a quality standard of stuff and keeping it going and wanting to return and put back as someone that was influenced by so many greats ahead of me and my elders, respecting my elders and those that have passed, but also respecting the next generation coming in and not holding anything against them, even though at times right now they're totally oblivious to what has taken place. So they're going to make the same mistakes, but they also have something fresh and original, and it's a new time, so it's a new great generation coming in. We all just need to just set a good example. Instead of take, put something back. So you can't just raid the barn, you also need to plant some corn back. That's my saying. Thank you, Lord Tusk. Thank you for listening.